Good morning, everyone. Today is a somber day, at least for many people here in the United States, especially those who had family or friends who died in the various wars, whether they are recent or past. Hey everyone, it's UFO Bob. It's a bit of a somber day. This is the last, hang on here, I don't want to get my, there you go. This is the last day in May, last Monday in May, and this is when we celebrate Memorial Day here in this country. And I wanted to honor those who have died in combat. And so I came here to the Torrance Veterans Memorial, and I'm going to give you a little backstory on the history of this observance. And as you can see here, there are two gentlemen who are here. There's going to be a city-sponsored event at the site at 2 o'clock. And the gentleman there on the left will be speaking at this event. And the gentleman on the right actually has two friends that are on this memorial. In fact, I think we'll do homage to them right now. One gentleman's name is Ronald Wambaugh, and he is right here. There you go. That's Ronald Wambaugh right there. And down here, the other gentleman, his name, if I can see the name, is Christopher Smith. Give me a second here to find it. There it is, Christopher Smith. Both of these individuals died in combat, and our friends, the gentleman standing here in the plaid shirt. Now let me take a moment. I'm going to go over here and talk to you real quick about the history of this memorial. Not the memorial itself, though I will talk about it to some degree. There you go. I'm going to throw on my glasses. Give me a second here, get all set up. Okay, there you go. As you can see, the weather is kind of gloomy. This is kind of typical for us in California. We have what we call May gray and June gloom, and it hasn't disappointed yet. The same old nonsense, right? All right. So, try to get myself situated here so I can, because I'm gonna read, this information. I'll be honest, I took this, it took some time to research it. This is a federal holiday in the United States, and it was established in 1890, okay, to honor and mourn, military personnel who had died in combat while in the armed forces. We observe it on the last day of May, which is also, not that it's important, but it's the unofficial start of summer in this country. The holiday, it seems like a strange word to call it. It's an observance. Was originally called Decorations Day. Okay, and it was proclaimed by Commander-in-Chief. His name was John A. Logan of the Grand Army of the Republic of the United States, to honor the Union soldiers who had died in the Civil War. Then, with the advent of the First and Second World Wars, it was turned into a day of remembrance for all the U.S. military who fought and died in service. And then in 1968, Congress changed it from the original date of May 30th to the last Monday in May. And so, you know, we honor military personnel in this country on two other occasions. One's Armed Forces Day, and that's to honor all currently serving military personnel. That would be the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, and the U.S. Coast Guard. And then we have Veterans Day, which honors all veterans who have served in the military. And in my case, I have family members who are in the military. My father was in the Navy. In fact, he served in the Second World War, as did my two of my uncles. One uncle was in the Navy, and then the other uncle was a B-24 bomber pilot. In fact, and when he was 90 years old, I did an interview with him about his experiences in the war, and there's a link in the description below. So if you want to check that out, please do. And I think what I want to do is take a moment to talk about the number of deaths. Now, I was actually surprised the numbers weren't higher. Not that I want them to be. But I'll just give you the numbers. The American Civil War had over 204,100 deaths. The First World War, it was 53,402. The Second World War was 291,557. The Korean War, 33,686. The Vietnam War, 58,500. The Gulf War, 288, very low, thank God. The Iraq War, 4,424. And then the most recent war, which was the Afghan War, 1,833. Now, this memorial I'm going to show you and talk about was erected in 2002 by the city of Torrance. I'm going to swing this around, and I see we have a couple of people there. We have Susan. Hi, Susan. And we have Nosh. Welcome aboard, guys. I'm going to bring the camera around. And as I was saying, you know, this memorial was erected in 2002. To pay tribute to the men and women who had fallen in combat that lived in the city of Torrance. And while I was, you know, prepping for the show, I happened to meet this gentleman here who's standing off in the here to the right there in the shot. This gentleman's name is Charlie Salinas. He's a Vietnam vet. He was in the Army Artillery, and he was stationed below Saigon, and between 67 and 69. So we're going to swing the camera around, and then we'll chat with him for a few minutes. All right. So there he is. This is, okay, everyone, this is Charlie. And Charlie, were you drafted or were you a volunteer?
I actually volunteered for the draft. That was something that came about in 1967. You could go to the war immediately if you wanted to serve, but you didn't have to do 3 years or 4 years. You just did a 2-year commitment.
And that's what you did.
And
2
that's
years?
on my terms. Yeah. I went on my terms.
2 years. Well, that's
2 years.
Good.
Yes.
Now, you know, you were telling me that you were in the artillery.
Yeah.
Now, tell me a little bit about what it is that artillery people do, because I don't know that much about it.
Well, and basically, I was on the 155 howitzer, was next to the biggest cannon that the Americans have, and it's basically dropping bombs from the ground. Because that projectile is 99 pounds, and it's 2.5 feet tall. And we used to take that, one man throw that into the tube, and they have a ramrod that comes, and then 2 men, they slam it home. And then they put the powder charge in, close the breech block, and it's ready to fire. As soon as it fires, you empty and swab the tube with water to make sure there's no sparks, and do the same process over again. The record for 155 is 5 rounds in the air at one time before the first one explodes. That's how quick we are on the artillery.
That's pretty amazing. Now, how often did you have to engage your artillery?
Well, it was every day and every night.
Oh.
There was no daytime and nighttime anymore. You worked 24 hours a day, and you got time for try to get some rest, time to get some eat. But mostly it was working fire missions, and if there wasn't a battle to support, they had artillery locations that the Viet Cong could be hiding, but not necessarily. So just to harass. We knew there were not American troops there, so we'd fire all night long into the wilderness, hoping to disturb somebody's rest.
All right. So now, during all that time, was your position ever actually attacked by
Yes.
the enemy?
Yes.
And did you suffer losses as a result?
Yes. This happens quite often, and you have people on the gun crew either shot by sniper or mortar fire. They get wounded, and you have to get a replacement because it takes 5. You got to be 5 on the crew to keep it going. I mean, it can be done with 3. We're down to 3. And it was really too much work to keep a efficient fire mission going. But we were attacked all the time. And when we transport on the highway and tow it, we got hit with rockets. I drove over a landmine. There was small arms fire, the AK-47 from the tree line. And sometimes we were mobile by helicopter. This is the first war helicopters moved the artillery. So we were set on mountaintops in the middle of nowhere. We had no idea where we were. There was no infantry, so we would put our own perimeter guard out of the guys that weren't doing the fire mission at the time. And it was pretty hairy sometimes, and we didn't think we were going to make it.
Now, I'm going to ask you kind of a rough question, possibly.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of those vets that came back suffered emotionally as a result of their experiences in Vietnam. Now, you look like you're still pretty much intact, but if you want to discuss anything regarding that, feel free.
25 years of therapy at the West Los Angeles Veterans Hospital is what helped me. And I got off the alcohol because that was the medicine I went to immediately after war, ready, available, cheap. You don't need a doctor to prescribe it. But then I got caught up in it and I became an alcoholic. So with therapy and then going to AA, I haven't had a drink in 30 years. I haven't had to have a drink in 30 years. I'm proud to say it. But a lot of my friends took their own lives, and they say almost as many died from suicide as died in the war. And that should have never happened if they were forced to go into treatment. And that's what we want from the military today. If somebody serves in combat, make them get therapy before releasing them to the street.
I think that's a good place to end the stream, guys, because I think what he has to say there is valid. I personally did not have to deal with any of the trauma that came with being in the military. I was in the Army. But I was lucky. I came at the end of things. I was all stateside. I did my basic training, my AIT, my permanent party right here in the States. But guys like the fellow behind me, like Charlie, they had it pretty rough. So I think I encourage you to thank anybody that you know that served in the military today, and also on the other 2 days that we celebrate and honor veterans. And I thank you for being here at this live stream. And until then, this is UFO Bob out. Thanks, guys.